There's the two calico swordtails doing very well. The female has had babies and the babies have disappeared. And no, that betta was not in the tank when they disappeared. Got a lot of growth up here, as you can see, to protect the young ones. And black mollies keep populating, repopulating. So I'm still very surprised at that. I've never had long-term success with black mollies, and this tank has been perfect for them, as you've seen in other updates. That male guppy thinks he's a calico swordtail, at least when it comes to the female. I'm hoping that the betta will come away from that light so that we can really see the coloration on him. It's not just a cream colored, but actually when the light strikes it, the side is like a pastel green. Really very unique. I couldn't resist it. I usually don't have a betta in this tank just because, while I'm not trying to raise babies, at the same time they seem to do well here. And so I think you can get some sense of just how gorgeous he is. See that green in the tail and the body? Very pleased with that particular acquisition. From PetSmart, of all places. They seem to have a nice selection every once in a while. Quite a contrast to the black mollies in the background, isn't it? Anyway, that's the office tank that entertains me while I'm working on projects here. And as you can see, the hornworth does very well, as does what I think is called Christmas fern in the background. I can take that hornworth and put it in the other bow tanks and it falls apart in most cases. So there's a difference in the same water, so I don't know what that's about. And here we have the big bow tank, 46-gallon, in our living room. I don't have a fish room as such. The fish room is our living room, which allows me to enjoy our fish all day long, all evening long. I don't have to go down to a separate room and separate myself from family, which is interesting because the family, my wife and I, are equally involved in this hobby now. And she's the decorator. So, for example, an interesting story just recently, night before last, spent probably about 45 minutes online picking out plants to repopulate this particular tank. This tank went south for some reason or other. I was losing fish. I changed the water, didn't do it, and just started over from scratch. So I took all the fixtures out of here, cleaned that sand, started all over again, and I didn't have anything except maybe the Java fern left. So I was looking to get some colorful plants in here and get some variety going again. And so I went online and I spent about 45 minutes picking and choosing and getting $100 worth of plants to order in my shopping cart so that I could, in a couple of days, have plants and redo this tank. Well, when I went to place the order, you had to get up to $100 to get 15% off. So that's what I did. And when I went to order it, it was $58 shipping charge. And then if you wanted to pack it properly for shipment in this winter weather, of course, you had to add some other features. And I said, ridiculous. I'm not going to spend $58 to buy $100 worth of plants and wait for them. So anyway, that was the day, as you may have seen in Ray's fish room update, that we went out fishing together, Ray and I, and came back with nothing, basically. The prices were too high in the store to really be worth doing. And so we were very frustrated. Really, I was looking for plants, he was looking for fish. We couldn't find anything that we'd spend money on, and they were really very depleted in terms of stock. And so yesterday, I invited my wife to join me, go over to nearby Bristol, Pennsylvania, which is over the bridge from New Jersey, out to a place called the Hidden Reef. Hidden Reef is usually got some good buys, and they have a nice supply of plants if you catch them at the right time. Well, we caught them at the right time, and I ended up buying a couple of fish, 3 Julie cats, 6 very small zebras for 89 cents a piece. Really smaller than I would have liked to have got them, but hey, that's what I was looking for, to complement a small school I had already in the other tank. And also some white clouds. And so their plant supply was almost as good as it was online. I was so pleased. And so what you're seeing in this tank in front of me here is what my wife has done with those plants in terms of putting them around and getting this tank back in shape. And I love the variety of colors that you can see in these particular plants. So everything from the bunch plants here down to the left to an Amazon sword of some type right behind it. Nice bright green, dark green in the kabamba. And then up into this very nice colorful piece. I think it's a form of Ludwigia, but I could be wrong on that. And then some fascinating pieces mixed in with the remaining Java fern. And you see this very strange looking longleaf plant right in the center here. None of these plants were more than $2.99, and some of them were only $1.99. So I was very pleased with that. And then you have right here, trying to focus in on it and see if I'm looking at the right thing. That reddish leaf plant that was $1.99, believe it or not. I was very, very pleasantly surprised, and you can get a sense of what that's about if I can get nice and close to it. And then over to the right there, we have again a kabamba type plant in that reddish brown, and they're not fully grown out. I did have one Amazon sword plant right there on the right that survived so far, but we'll see how we make out with these. And in the center there you see some more of that Java fern anchored to the one main plant there. So the fish are showing good vital signs again now that we've redone this tank and we've got all the aeration working. No, I don't use CO2 as some of YouTube visitors have asked, and it's more focused on the tetras and the swordtail that I have left from, like I say, that recent bad experience of losing some fish. The angels, man, they just survive. We had 10. We're down to 4 at this point. But they are growing and they're huge and they're just doing very well. The 2 big black ones and 2 white ones I had in the new corner tank, the pie-shaped corner tank, which I'll show you in just a minute, they died within days of each other after being fine for a while. So I don't know what that was all about, but we'll celebrate what we have left here. And we also have another betta, which is hiding in the back over there. Hidden Reef always has a great variety of bettas, and the common bettas, which are equally beautiful with their long finnage, are always $2.99. Can't beat that anyplace. So Ray and I both realized we should have gone south to this place instead of down toward the shore here in New Jersey. All right, let me take you over to the corner tank. As introduced in the last update earlier this month, this is the replacement tank, a 54-gallon bow front pie shapes, and it's got two straight sides going back into the corner of this living room, and the front is a bow front. We call it the corner tank because it's in the corner. And I just love the school of neons that you see right here. They are doing beautifully, and it's sort of a, as I told you last time, a thrill to be able to have so many of those that we used to wish we had more of when we were kids. And this tank's doing very well. A lot of platies that hang out together. Some of the plants are of those that we acquired just yesterday. You can see down here in the corner both the bunch plant down there, which hopefully will grow out and be very colorful, and then the purple plants off to the left here that Pam has done such a nice job with the landscaping. The banana plants anchored down into some type of sword plant here, which now has a stem going up and starting to grow out into smaller plants that I hope I can anchor down into the gravel and get to grow by themselves. So you'll see right here, hard for me to focus in on things through the lens, but let's see if I can do that for you. I think we're seeing it. And so the leaves are starting to grow out on this stem. There's something hanging on that particular one, but if you follow down, you see the banana plant leaves sticking up out of this plant, and also the pearl gouramis, that little school of three that I showed you last time. And then over on the other side you have some more of those new plants, again of that $1.99 variety I just showed you over there. It's a beautiful plant, and they were cheaper than the ones online. And then we have this nice bunch plant, which again hopefully will grow out and be as colorful as it would be on any of their advertisements, right? So again, a lot of these black mollies, all these black mollies, are children of the two big black mollies we had back almost a year now. And I'm totally amazed at that, because as much as I love black mollies, they've never thrived. And in the office tank that you saw earlier, and there's a betta in here. I wish I had more tanks because I love bettas, and just don't have enough tanks to buy the ones that I see that I fall in love with. And this one is just gorgeous with the blue and red, which I'm capturing right here now, better than I ever have. Look at that tail, huh? The one in the other bow tank that I just was showing you is one my wife picked out. It's I'm not fussy. They all look beautiful to me, so I let her pick out her favorites, and they thrive for a while, and eventually we have to replace them. And so the story is one of frustration with the online situation, and a surprising success with really two huge tanks of nothing but plants available at the Hidden Reef. And like I said, we ended up with, I think, 24 plants that we brought home and let my wife do her thing yesterday with on the tank here. She ends up with a very green thumb, as it will, in artistically laying out a tank. Mine's more natural, just let it overgrow everything and fish will come in and out of the hiding and so forth. So this is more her work than mine, and it just works out very well. So I hope you've enjoyed the visit. This is a follow-up to Ray's fish room update, and as I said, in our fish room here, this is the living room. Both tanks are sitting here in our living room, and the net result is able to enjoy them all the time. The neat thing is you can swivel the chair around, and when you face the opposite direction, you see the other bow tank. Not the corner bow tank, but now. And so you can swivel around and look at the other tank and enjoy both. If we get a better shot without the light. But that's the 180-degree turn on the swivel rocker here in our living room.